All right, well, to our final startup, which is raising on the Birchal crowdfunding platform. It's a really interesting prop tech, CrowdProperty, and is a startup founded by three small-scale property developers frustrated by dealing with banks in manners that are complex and slow. And of course, they don't understand the projects. Serial fintech entrepreneur David Ingram sold his last marketplace startup to Loan Market. And now he's looking to raise $1.5 billion on Birchal. David joins me now. David, welcome to the show. Crowd Property sounds cool. I can see a little bit of development in the background there rising on the skyline, but tell us about the business.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks, Simon. You're never too far away from an opportunity for a property development, and that's basically all about what this business does. So every good business really should start with trying to solve a pain. And Crowd Property is about solving pains both for small-scale property developers and investors. Now, we're opening our retail fund, opening this opportunity up to all investors, which these opportunities to invest in small-scale property development loans have always traditionally been the preserve of high net worth individuals or institutions in the past.
So tell us a little bit about how you see your startup. Is it a prop tech? Is it a fintech? Where does it sort of sit?
I think that depends on who you're talking to, but fundamentally, I guess we bring together the nexus of property expertise for efficiency. We bring the technology, which allows us to scale, I guess, the offering. So there's nothing new in terms of what it is we've been doing, but the technology, the prop tech or the fintech piece allows us to scale. And when we look at the UK business, which is already a proven, successful, profitable model, they are funding small-scale property developments worth $1 million. They're launching between 3 to 8 projects a week at the moment, and every project is funded in under a minute with over 2,000 investors coming into it. Now, the interesting thing about that is not only just, as I said, opening these kind of investment opportunities up to those who haven't been able to access these before, but the technology and the efficiency of the platform is also attracting institutions who are coming in, investing on the platform. So investing alongside retail investors, we have global asset managers, even the British Business Bank is helping to build more great British homes.
Now, I understand there's massive demand there. You've got more than $500 million in loan applications on the books.
Yeah, so just to be clear, we're talking about the Australian business here, which is, we're still a long way behind the UK business. We've been live here in Australia for 2 years. But in that short space of time, we've received, yes, over $500 million. Now, this number gets out of date by the day, but it's about $570 million in project loan applications. And importantly, these are direct to us. So these are direct originated. These are investment opportunities which you won't see anywhere else. While we will work with brokers, and that's how we can grow our business, we predominantly want to deal directly with developers to understand not only does their project stack up, who they are, what's their capability, what's their vision, why are they coming to us for a loan. So it's very important that. And on the other side, we bring investors into those deals via the platform. So you can come into our website, which is crowdproperty.com.au. You can browse the deals there. You can see who the property developers are. You can see a little bit about their development. And make your own decisions even after they've been through our extensive specialist kind of due diligence before they get to the platform.
Now, one of the things Crowd Property is doing that I think would be music to a politician's ears, given the debate that is currently going on here in Australia, is you're developing new products around specialist disability accommodation, sustainable and efficient home building, and affordable housing. And, hoping to get larger institutional investors such as super funds with ESG mandates involved. That's a badly needed problem to be solved right now.
Absolutely, and it really is a nexus. I think at this point in time, right? We've since I've been in Australia about 19 years, and it's only recently that we've really started to have that honest conversation. We've got not just the government but industry leaders recognising we need to do something about housing supply in this country. Now, what we can't afford to do is wait any longer and for much needed reform, which we need of planning, etc. But what we want to start doing now is backing those small scale property developers, the guys who've already worked out how to navigate the complex planning system here between the federal, state, local councils. These are the guys who are already out there doing projects, and the fastest way we can actually get behind them and to start building more much needed homes. And as you say, some of those are quite niche. They're not well understood by the bank or other non-bank lenders who tend to be more generalist in their nature. They're very specialist. But that does allow us to look into things like disability accommodation. We're just about to launch a project actually on the platform shortly, which is going to be supplying much needed NDIS accommodation, SDA as it's known. But also I'm very keen to improve the housing stock here as well. So looking at how can we improve the sustainability and efficient building of homes here. And affordability of housing is also kind of close to my heart as well. And that's, as you say, something which not only can we open up to retail investors who actually want to see where their investment's going, but it's also attracted, as you say, to larger institutions like the super funds who are actually being asked by the government at the moment to look at where their investment's going and how can it help with developing more affordable housing in Australia.